Hello learners, welcome to the class again. So we were doing the play, the three-act play, A Doll's House by Henrik Ibsen, and so far we have seen that Nora is a little worried when Krogstad, the man, the colleague of Helmer, from whom she borrowed the money to pay off the bills of her husband's medications, and she also forged the sign of her father to pay off the money. So when Krogstad arrives at Nora's house, Nora is a little uncomfortable, and Krogstad tells Nora that her husband is about to fire him from the job and asks her to pursue her husband to let him retain his job, or else he will disclose her crime of forgery to him. So now Krogstad knows that Nora forged the signatures of her father to pay off the bills and to borrow the money from Krogstad. And now Krogstad is blackmailing Nora that Helmer, who is the bank manager now, is going to fire Krogstad, and now she should pursue her husband so that he is convinced of not firing Krogstad. So Krogstad has himself requested Helmer not to fire him, but now when Helmer is not convinced, Krogstad requests Nora, or he threatens Nora and says that if her husband would not be convinced by her proposals, or if she is not be able to convince her husband for not firing Krogstad, he will reveal the secret. He will disclose the crime which is made by Nora of forgery. Okay, so now Nora feels a little threatened for the forgery she took for her husband. Now, saying this, after threatening Nora, he leaves, and when Helmer returns back, Nora pleads him not to fire Krogstad from his job, but Helmer tells about his hypocrisy and lies and remains unmoved to his decision. So Krogstad is a very hypocritical and a liar who is not faithful to his job. So Helmer is very firm of firing him, but Nora is a bit threatened and she does not want to reveal all that secret of borrowing money and forging the signatures. So she pleads her husband Helmer to not fire Krogstad from his job. Then we see that the next day Nora, being quite worried again pleads her husband not to dismiss Krogstad, adding that he will defame him, but fails to convince Helmer. So now she gives an excuse that if he will fire Krogstad, he will defame him. Okay, so she does not reveal the actual reason behind her pleadings, but she says indirectly that if he will fire Krogstad, he can defame him, he can demolish his image. But Helmer is unmoved and Nora fails to convince Helmer. Then what happens? Nora is thinking about the secondary remedies, how to deal with the situation, and when Dr. Rank, who is a rich friend of Helmer, comes, Nora is about to ask for some financial help. So Nora wants to asks Dr. Rank if he can help her financially, because if the whole secret reveals, she has to pay off the debt immediately to Krogstad. So she is planning to ask about the money from Dr. Rank. But now what happens that Dr. Rank, who is in secretly love with Nora, confesses his love for her as he is about to die of tuberculosis. So Dr. Rank is about to die of tuberculosis, and he confesses before dying his love for Nora. So Nora is very shocked and stunned about the secret love of Dr. Rank towards her, for her, and she gives up the idea of asking for money from him. So now when she knows that he is about to die of tuberculosis, and he has been in love with Nora. She dismisses the idea of asking for money from him. So now the second door also seems to be closed for Nora, and now she is she is more worried about how to tackle the bad situation she has fallen into. Now, a little later, Krogstad comes again, and Nora asks Dr. Rank to go to Helma's study room. So now, because Nora wants to hide the whole secret from Dr. Rank also, she requests Dr. Rank to go to Helma's study room, and Nora tells Krogstad that she tried her best to persuade her husband, but he did not change his mind. So she tells Krogstad that she has failed in her plan of persuading her husband for not firing Krogstad, and she accepts that she has tried her best to convince Helma, but her husband did not change his mind. So he is going to fire Krogstad. Okay, so Nora, who is shown as a criminal here, and who feels a guilty conscience for the decision she took on her part, and she forged the signatures of her father. She feels a bit threatened, and she feels like a criminal. But if we look with a neutral lens, with an unbiased lens, we can see that the only path that was left for her was of forging the signatures of her father, because Helma was not ready. Helma would not have agreed about about her making her father the security for the debt, and he might not have been ready to expend such a large amount of money on his illness. So Nora, to save the life of her husband, she took this decision of borrowing a great amount of money, a great chunk of money from Krogstad, and forging the signatures. But now she has fallen into a critical situation, and she is feeling a bit threatened about how the secret will be revealed to her husband, and how he will react to this whole situation, and how he will put her into the critical situation. And she is not only worried about her own decision, but she is also worried about how this forgery can defame Helma in his bank, and how his professional image can be damaged. So she is worried more about Helma's, her husband's status in the bank, than her own position in the house. So enough for today. Thank you.